Good afternoon. This is XOTIC PC's review of the ASUS G73JW-A1. This is the refresh of the insanely wildly popular G73JH models. Unlike the JH models, this model comes with some updated components, as well as a change to an nVIDIA GPU. Stock, this machine will come equipped with an i7-740QM and part of the Intel refresh. Got 8 gigs of DDR3 1333 memory as a standard spec now, as well as dual 500 gig 7200 PM hard drives. Windows 7 Home Premium 64-bit. This does come equipped with a Blu-ray player. We can remove that for you. We will reduce the cost by $96 if you chose to do that. Looks-wise, it's very similar to what we're used to with the JH model. We've got, of course, our dual cooling system. The chassis is nearly identical. They did make a few changes to it. I think they listened to people on some of the stuff. As you can see, the touch pad here, they have separated both the left and the right buttons, unlike having just a tilt bar. And we'll get up on here and you'll be able to see, maybe you can't see it here, but it's just a couple of touch-ups here kind of on how it looks. Around this area here, they've added just a little bit of glossy stripping, or piping, probably really is probably the better word for it, and it looks really good. It adds to it. The buttons are recessed a little bit more, and just kind of overall, they've sharpened up the look of it and increased the performance. I'm sure everyone is wondering, the GTX 460 M is the new Fermi chip that's in this machine. And 3D Mark scores on it are 7392. Another notable item to this, and we'll talk about this here in a little bit, is our temps. I'm getting ready to run FurMark on here just to kind of show you guys. But the last run that I made here did a little benchmark on it. And as you can see, our max GPU temp was 67 degrees Celsius. Even after a 20-minute run of FurMark, we were maxing at 78 Celsius. This idles at 41. The JH model idles around 65 Celsius. So cooling dramatically better. And we're talking significantly. As you can see here, our memory clocks here on this. You've got, or excuse me, our GPU clocks. We've got core clock at 675. Our memory clock is 1250, and our shader is 1350. So a little bit higher clocks. Your core clock is a little down from the JH model, but your memory clock is up. Shader clock is, well, non-existent on the ATI, but on this model we see it here. And it has 1.5 gigs of memory. So it really is poised to, kind of take out that 5870, especially considering on a lot of things here, at least, the performance was better. It has a wider memory bus, and obviously, as a lot of you know, tessellation on it, just kicks the snot out of what ATI is doing for that. So, great model so far. Okay, next thing we're going to go over here is some of the input and output ports on the G73. It is equipped a little bit better than the previous model. It still lacks some of the things that people really like, but you know what? They've added one important feature to this, and we'll get to that here in a second. Of course, this is the right-hand side, so we've got our power cable here, standard VGA and HDMI, and then we've got USB, and as some of you are noticing, this is blue. That's USB 3.0. Finally, we have high-speed data transfer on the G73. Previous model, missing eSATA, missing USB 3.0. Didn't have it. Here we've got a 4-in-1 card reader slot. We kind of come across the front. Of course, there's no input-output ports there. And we sneak over here. We've got our headphone jack, as well as our microphone there. A second USB 2.0. Blu-ray drive on this model, and then a third USB 2.0 and an Ethernet. So we've got total 4 USBs on this. One of them is 3.0. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and talk about the keyboard here. It is, as you can see, I'm turning the backlighting on. It is backlit. It is a little bit brighter than the previous JH model that preceded this. Noticeably, side by side, you can instantly tell that the brightness is better, is brighter. As we kind of go to the top here, there are some interesting changes on the GUI that they've made to control the lighting here. This top left button turns it on, off, and you can turn the light bar off, which is this blue LED that kind of stays on underneath there. We can turn all the lights off, turn them back on. As a side note, anytime that you press that button, you turn the lights off, when you turn them back on, you have to function F4 to get your lights back on. Common question, common mistake. It's just the way that the driver for it works. The ATK drivers work that way for it. Also, when you start up, it's going to kick on, it's going to shut off. Until the ATK drivers load during startup, you won't have a backlit keyboard. They did start it a little bit sooner, so the drivers will load before you actually get to your screen where you can log in, which is nice. Didn't do that before. You've got your second button here. We've got turbo mode, of course, on and off, which will slightly overclock your CPU. We've got their Splendid Video. It would require the Splendid Video enhancement software to be installed. It does come pre-installed, so if if you want to remove it, you can, if you don't think you'll ever use it. But it just switches between different modes. We've got Vivid mode, Theater mode, Soft mode, and then Normal mode. Most of the time, I think Normal mode looks the best. Gamma Correction mode. Honestly, guys, I don't know if you ever use this, but it's there if you think it looks better. As far as other icons here on the front of the machine, this just lets us know that the machine's on. We've got battery here, our hard drive, and our Wi-Fi. Up in the corner here, right underneath the other buttons, we just got our caps and our number lock LEDs here to let us know that those are either on or off. As we talk about the keyboard, we'll take a look at the touchpad. It's not very different from the previous one. A lot of people haven't been big fans of it. I'm probably not one of those people. It isn't clear exactly where your scroll up, down, how that works. There is some pinch to zoom and expand within your driver software. The other notable change, they added a little space between our left and our right click. I like that better than the bar. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and go over the top here of the G73JW. As you can see, it looks really similar to the previous model. Now they've made this branding just a little more pronounced, a little shinier. Everything else very similar, as you can see. It really is a good-looking machine. It's really robust. When you get it in your hands, you just know that you've got a real high-end piece of equipment. An overall strong chassis, built to move with. You built to take a beating. You've got your rubberized finish, so no fingerprints, which is nice. Alright, we're going to take a look at the screen here. It is the same screen as the JH model on the identical Handstar LCD panel, so it is identical to it. It was good before, it's still good now. As we make our way viewing angle wise, at about 45 degrees, maybe around 40, we start to wash out just a little bit. Until then, it's crystal clear. It does get a little brighter when you're in front, but not much. Same thing holds true from side to side. Top to bottom wise, laptops always struggle with that. I would say here at about 35 degrees we start to get a washout. Until then it's bright. As you continue to shut the lid, it doesn't actually change much, which is nice. So you don't get a huge washout as you go from top to bottom, but side to side is among the middle to upper qualities of screens. Be very happy with this screen. It's absolutely gorgeous. 1080p. It's beautiful.